Hello and welcome to Peru. Specifically, we are visiting the Cusco region of Peru, which is located in the southwestern area of the country, nestled among the Peruvian Andes. Cusco was once the capital of the Inca Empire and is now known as the historical center of Peru. Flying into Cusco is crucial if you're looking to visit the towns of the Sacred Valley, look upon the famous Machu Picchu, or begin one of the various trekking routes in the Andes, which is exactly what we came to do. Therefore, Cusco is where we begin our journey in Peru. Before we began our trek in the Andes, we spent a few days acclimating in Cusco to prepare for the higher altitudes to come. We stayed in the San Blas neighborhood of Cusco, which we loved because we could easily walk to restaurants, shops, and access the main plaza of town. While there are many treks and multi-day hikes to choose from, we ended up going with a 2-day, 1-night Humantay Lake and Salkantay Pass trek. We ended up deciding on this trek because we were limited on time and it would be our first overnight hiking trip. There are also tons of trekking guides and companies to choose from based in Cusco, so after doing some research, we ended up going with Salkantay Trekking Company because we liked their itinerary and they had really great reviews. After spending 5 days in Cusco, we began our trek experience bright and early on Saturday morning. We were picked up at 3:30 while the city was still dark and started the journey with a few-hour van ride. After stopping for breakfast along the way, we made it to our first hike starting point where we began a 4.5-mile moderate trek along an ancient Inca aqueduct to Sorey Pampa. Before starting the hike, our guide gave us some coca leaves, which is a local remedy to help with the altitude. This was my first time getting a peek at the snow-capped Andes Mountains, and I was blown away by the views this entire hike. As we finished our trek in Sorey Pampa, we stopped for lunch at our camp for the night. Next, we made the 1-hour uphill trek to Humantay Lake and were greeted by its incredible blue waters and beautiful mountain peaks. After heading back down the mountain as the sun was setting, we got settled into our camp for the night. We got to stay in glass igloos that gave us incredible views of the surrounding mountains and the night sky. This camp is called Sky Camp and is only accessible to those using Salkantay Trekking Company as their guides. We got an early start the next morning with a 4 a.m. wake-up call. After breakfast, we started the 8.5-mile round-trip hike to Salkantay Pass via the Trail of Seven Snakes path. This uphill trek gains over 2,000 feet in elevation. That, coupled with the lower oxygen content of being over 14,000 feet above sea level, made it one of the more challenging hikes I've done. But the views along the way were breathtaking. I couldn't put my camera down the entire way. After 3 hours of hiking, we finally made it to the Salkantay Pass at 15,000 feet above sea level. We spent some time drinking coca tea, taking photos, and talking with our guide about the mountain's meaning to local Peruvian people. Luckily, it didn't take nearly as long to hike down as it did to hike up, so we made it back to camp within about an hour and a half before catching a bus back to Cusco. This was by far one of my favorite travel experiences I have ever done, and I can't wait to do longer treks in the future.